It's Deprogrammed, the podcast in where we talk about, I'm sure that's like a thing. That's how you say that, right? Where we talk about artists that we want to get you into. And today that artist is Mr. Bungle. And really, literally, all you have to do is listen to us talk about it and then listen to the playlist. Like,
Please.
that's it. That's all you have to do. And by the end, hopefully we'll convert you into a Mr. Bungle fan. That voice you may have heard right there, here with me in studio with the super sexy Zelda shirt.
Oh my god,
I did it.
Oh, you're talking about me right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's me.
No, that's that. I'm talking about that other guy.
I am wearing a Zelda shirt. The other guy.
Hey, that's my
what's
shirt.
his name? Jesus.
Still one of my favorites. Hey, that's my shirt.
No, I was talking to you, the other guy.
Brian Lewis is here in
actually
studio.
as hairy as that guy is in that scene, like legitimately.
I'm almost there.
I literally am the guy in that scene.
Ain't no shame in it though, bruh.
Nah, but Mr. Bungle is like legitimately like top 3 most influential things in my entire life.
Oh.
I love Mr. Bungle.
All
so
right,
much.
So let's bring in all the
I
way.
might fight everyone.
All the way.
Like I know he's over the phone, but I might I might murder him.
We'll bring in Peter. Oh, you mentioned.
Okay.
Sorry, you might be dead by the end
Great
of this.
intro, motherfucker.
You might be dead by the end of this. But no, man, this was actually your idea because I had put out a post saying, "Hey, let's get some like quick turnaround bands," and you said, "Would you even be interested in Mr. Bungle? They only have 3 records." Which, that's the sell for me.
I mean, so does technically Rage Against the Machine have 3 records because one of them was a cover record or whatever.
I would do Rage.
Dude, I love Rage. I mean, let's talk about Rage. Let's talk about Mr. Bungle.
Yes.
This is a great fucking band.
But so this was your idea. We're doing this because of you, Peter.
Yay. Yeah, they're one of my favorite bands, but like they're kind of a hard sell to people who like
People who aren't ready.
People who are dumb.
Yeah.
People who, like dumb people. Yeah, I get it.
So talk to me about it, Peter. Like what is the like removing the selling, because that's what we have to do here. Removing the selling out of it, just for you personally. What is it about Mr. Bungle, Peter?
Okay, well, my entry point was from Faith No More, and Mike Patton was wearing a Mr. Bungle shirt in the Epic video, and it was like, oh, he's got another band. That's cool.
Tractor on my balls shirt.
And I checked it out. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, you can do this in music? Like, it was so weird, but I loved it. Like I'd never heard anything like that before. Like, and each album, like, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
You can't really say like they ever really repeated themselves.
No. All right, so Brian, you said they're like one of the most influential acts.
I take back about what I said about fighting him because he's good. I like him. He can stay. No, like honestly, man, Mike Patton is a god to me. I've seen most of his bands live. I saw Mr. Bungle on their last tour ever, and they've recently got back together. But I saw them on their last tour ever at the time with the original lineup at the Boathouse in like 1999.
Oh,
and the fucked up thing is that they opened for 2 like bands that wouldn't exist without them. They opened for Incubus and System of a Down. I was like, none of these bands would exist exactly like, without these guys.
Holy shit, I remember that
And
show.
I remember when they came out, and this guy, there was a sticker on Mike Patton's keyboard, and it was like Navy guys drive me nuts or something, and he was like, that's gay. I'm like, yeah, it is, motherfucker. Like, strap in. And they were fucking amazing when I saw them. And Mike Patton is like I said, he's a god to me. Like, everything he does is indescribably influential for me.
He's one of the greatest vocalists of all time, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I'd have a hard time arguing against that. Like,
he was actually voted that in like some metal rag. He was like voted the greatest vocalist of all time. Like, and I agree with that. Like, he taught me that your voice is an instrument. More like I grew up listening to like like Michael Winslow from the Police Academy. Like I love vocalizations. Like it's a huge thing for me. Like that's why I've always done voices and sound effects my whole life. But like Mike Patton taught me that your voice is a work of art and an instrument. So,
and I only have the 2 bands to go off of. I know he has many other projects, but like we did Faith No More, and I was, wow,
which he only did to get funding for Mr. Bungle. Like he didn't like that band at all.
Huh.
They later they would go on to do great records after he had more influence in the band, but he didn't like that band at first. He only did it to get funding for Mr. Bungle, which thankfully he did. So,
well, and like you said, he's got a very percussive instrumental voice.
I mean, he literally has done records with just vocal shit, like adult themes for voice. Shout out if you it's just him in a fucking hotel on tour with Faith No More doing like sound effects and shit with his voice. It's great. I love it.
So did you get a chance to see them live, Peter?
No, I didn't. For some reason I think Mike Patton hates Florida because none of his bands ever come down here.
He might hate Florida.
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, look at us.
The majority of Florida.
I would assume that he would like you guys because your state looks like a dick. And when I saw him with Tomahawk, he had like a prosthetic dick. It was great. He was just like a cop. It was awesome.
Wasn't Tomahawk? Well, maybe not. I feel like I swear they were at like some FM 99 thing or something. I remember, but I could be. Those were the drunk years.
You're wrong.
Those were the drunk years.
You're wrong.
All right. Well, so is there anything else I need to know about Mr. Bungle before we hop in? Because like I feel like
you need to know everything about Mr. Bungle.
Because there's only 3 albums, so there's not a lot of wiggle room for.
Technically, there's only 3 albums. There's 4 EP and unreleased records technically before that, but whatever.
Well, we brought 3 albums into this conversation.
Right.
I should mention that I hated Mr. Bungle.
Dude, what?
In
How
probably
are we
about
friends?
2000.
Oh man.
Well, this was metal, Justin.
All right.
And I hated it because my brother would bring it into work we worked at a Chinese restaurant, and he would put it on the CD player that all the customers could listen.
Which record?
Disco Volante at points, but I'm pretty sure it was mostly self-titled.
Okay.
I feel like I remember California on occasions, but like at the time I'm just like, cut this shit off. Like, yo, like especially when Disco Volante was playing, get this shit off. Like I got customers that are complaining. Yo.
I'm sorry that the most influential record of my entire life made you uncomfortable at work, Justin.
But I think part of the fun in hating Mr. Bungle was upsetting my brother. So again, Metal Justin, not a good dude. So
well, it's funny that
him.
you refer to Metal Justin because their first couple of demos were like metal. Like they started out like just as a metal band, and for their reunion tour,
they're actually
performing one of their demos, which was one of their metal demos.
The Raging Master Easter Bunny, yeah, and God Damn It, I Love America is also a metal record as well. Yeah.
Weird.
So like they're doing reunion shows, but they're playing their demos instead of like the album tracks.
Classic fucking move, man. And honestly, my hatred for Red Hot Chili Peppers. It comes from Mr. Bungle.
Well, yeah. Well, it's a whole thing though, because
they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Because Anthony Kiedis is an egomaniac and thinks that he invented that sound of California, which Fishbone did. And Mr. Bungle's like, no, we ripped off Fishbone for a while, and then we became a band. And the Epic video, which Peter referred to earlier about the Mr. Bungle shirt from Faith No More, Anthony Kiedis is like, that guy stole my look. And I'm like, no, everyone in California looks like that, you asshole. So, and they actually, like, California came out. It was supposed to come out the same weekend as Californication did. But Warner Brothers, they were in the same label at the same time, delayed it because they didn't want people to get confused to buy a better record than Californication and buy California for Mr. Bungle, which is a great fucking record. So they performed as the Red Hot Chili Peppers live complete with heroin overdoses and everything.
Jesus.
I fucking love Mr. Bungle so much. I fucking hate the Red Hot Chili Peppers so much. So there we go.
let's talk about this though, Peter, because you brought this up, like, kind of a hard sell. I mean, they soften up on the second two records, like as far like the sell becomes easier, but Disco Volante is a hard sell, I think.
Yeah, and
to the outsider.
I agree, but I'm also smarter than everyone else. So.
Like in high school, I used to like to put that CD on in my car, like while I was driving my friends around, and just wait for somebody to be like, "Wait, what the fuck are we listening to?" Because, like, I mean, there's songs, but they're also just kind of like soundscapes. There's like jazz instrumentals, like they're all over the fucking place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think California is like probably their most straightforward record, even then, like there's still a lot of weird shit going on.
It's their most like accessible, but also their most experimental. Like they do a lot of different genre changes on that record, but it's also like their most popular record.
And see, I think that's the one thing I want to get across today with our discussion is that they're not inaccessible at all by any means. Which is why I think this is going to be interesting, like finding those 10.
Yeah.
Because we have to find 10 accessible songs that also show that there are inaccessible like things to them. It's not quite like when we did Flaming Lips, Peter, because like Flaming Lips, they're like an album band, and it's like picking out the songs makes them not work. I didn't find that with Mr. Bungle. Like, you can pick out the songs and they still work on their own. I found, well, if I'm trying to turn somebody on to this band, like if I was trying to turn, I hate the guy, but if I was trying to turn Metal Justin onto this band, would this be one of the songs? And I found myself coming to that a lot. And I'm really interested because I think it was 36 songs, something like that. It's not a lot. I want to see what the cross section is here for us. Like if we nail everything or if we're just completely missing somehow.
I feel like I'm going to miss a lot, even though it was only 15, which I suggested.
Right.
We should do. No, a humble brag or whatever. I kind of run the show, but whatever. I feel like I'm going to miss on all my, especially Disco Volante picks.
Possibly, because I've already kind of showed my hand with that. Because, I mean, I thought it was a really good record. I really enjoyed listening to it. But, like, when I was talking about breaking it apart, like I feel like that's the one album that, as I was breaking it apart, it didn't sound right to me.
I feel that way about the first record, actually, which is creatively their least creative record they've ever made, but the one I think most fair weather people or like humdrum fans of Mr. Bungle would like I think people who like Faith and War would like their first record, but not anything else. But Disco Volante is the reason why you know me as a person. Because, and we'll get into this in my list, but I would not be playing music if it weren't for that record.
All right.
Yeah.
So deep.
Yeah.
Deep.
They're one of the most important things in my entire life.
Wow. Well, then how did it take this long to get here?
And how did I not suggest this? Oh, because I assumed everyone sucks. And it was not me. Because Peter and I should have been friends a long time ago. Like, I should move down to Florida, even though I hate that state. But I want to move down there and be friends with him.
You guys have done a lot of shows together.
I know. Like, I like this guy. He's a good guy.
Well,
you know what? Maybe not after this list, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right. So, also, I do want to make mention redemption time finally for Peter, because unfortunately, the last 3 appearances, I think, have been marred with all sorts of garbage technical issues. I feel so bad.
I can hear you just fine.
It feels good to actually have a conversation again.
Yes.
Because before it was just kind of, we had to chop together piecemeal.
What was the last show that we did together? Fiona Apple?
Yes, the last one you guys did was Fiona Apple.
Yeah.
When things were still working.
Yeah. That was the old studio.
Yes.
This is before the Dean Koontz studio.
which I guess until
I'm always going to refer to this as the Dean Koontz Studio.
I think until I get the aircraft open, I think this will be referred to as the Dean Koontz Studio.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to know about Mr. Bungle before we hop in here, Peter?
I think we've covered everything.
All right. So that being said, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. We've combed through the 3 records that we picked for this and have each plucked out 15, in my case 16, songs that we are going to now bounce off of each other in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for Mr. Bungle, which I got to be honest, I could easily see people, if it came in their periph, passing on. You know what I mean?
Totally. People are stupid. I get it. I don't like, this is why I hate people, because they don't like Mr. Bungle as much as I do. So people are dumb. And if you don't like Mr. Bungle, you're kind of dumb. Sorry.
I will also say this.
It's a true thing about life.
Again, every week I always put out the, hey, what's essential?
Yeah.
And we actually got a decent response
very
here.
impressed by the list you got. And I contributed to the list. So, of course, I'm impressed by it. But I'm very impressed by this list.
And you know what? I think I'm going to go here first. It actually is one of the ones that the listener suggested. So to me, that makes it feel like a pass. And I feel like it was a super accessible song. I did not take notes this week. Sorry, guys. Retro Vertigo.
Yeah.
I got it.
Retro
Hey.
Vertigo. It's on my list. It's legitimately one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard, and it's a Trevor Dunn song. Trevor Dunn. There were 3 main songwriters for Mr. I'm gonna fucking rant for a while.
No.
How about Mr. Bungle?
There
were 3 main songwriters. There was Trace Brunts, and there was Mike Patton, and there was Trevor Dunn. They were the 3 songwriters for Mr. Bungle, and if you know that, you know the songs they wrote throughout their entire discography. But Retro Vertigo is if Trevor Dunn's song. He's one of the most influential bass players of my entire life. He's top 3 for me.
Wow.
It's Geezer Butler from Black Sabbath. Mm-hmm. It is Bootsy Collins from Parliament Funkadelic, and also Trevor Dunn. He was in Phantomos as well with another Mike Patton project.
Yeah.
Yes. And now plays for the Melvins, I think, too, as well. Which is also signed to Mike Patton's label, Ipecac Records. Shout out. I have 2 foam middle fingers from Ipecac Records in my house right now.
Huh.
But this is one of his songs. It's about the, I guess, disillusionment of the American dream via television. Mm-hmm. How television has destroyed humanity, basically. My art imitates crime, basically that song, which is the song is about television, how stupid it's made everyone. But love that song,
and we are living that now.
Absolutely. We have a game show host for president. Of course we're living that right now.
I mean,
I'm not trying to get political, but we literally elected a rapey game show host for president.
Yeah.
That's just a fact about life.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to delve any further into that, but you're right. Yeah. It's just a beautiful song. So
yeah, no, it's legitimately a beautiful acoustic, out of character song for them. But
I want to add this. When they broke up, none of them touched any Mr. Bungle songs and any of the other projects. But this year, at some of Mike Patton's Mondo Cane shows, he's been playing Retro Vertigo at the end of his set.
Yeah.
All right.
Man, I like this guy.
But see, and these are the nuggets.
I wish he was here in person instead of you, Justin, right now. Actually, I wish both of you were here because I love you both.
Half of the time, though, I kind of feel the same way. All right. Bryan?
All right. Great fucking choice. First off, the most influential song in my entire life as a musician. The only reason I play music today, there's 2 things. One of them is Talking Heads, the live version of Psycho Killer from Stop Making Sense. And the other one is this, Merry Go Bye Bye.
Oh my God.
I've got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm glad, because if not, I would murder everyone. It goes from the Beach Boys pop to death metal to noise and then right back to pop again. It is the greatest fucking song I've ever heard in my entire life.
Wow.
Everything I've ever done as a musician, you've supported me from almost day one, Justin. But my first band ever, which you have not heard, which you should not hear because it's terrible, is entirely influenced by that song.
Wow.
Yeah. Everything I've ever done is because of Merry Go Bye Bye.
You know, that was like one of my last few cuts.
Who didn't have it? You
me.
didn't have it.
I didn't have it. Well,
we're not even friends, man.
So, well, and the reason I cut it was if I was trying to sell somebody on the band, would I point to that song?
No, but you shouldn't listen to this band if you don't like that song, period.
Okay, that's a fair enough point. That is a fair enough point. But it made quite an impression on me. I loved it. And a lot of the stuff on Disco Volante I enjoyed thoroughly, but like I had a problem going, okay, this is what the band does.
I'm not going to lie, Justin. If this is not on our final list, I'm never doing the show again.
Oh shit.
I'm not even kidding with you.
Now what happens? Hold on though. What happens if we get in 10 unanimously and it doesn't even get to enter the conversation?
Regardless, I'm never doing
shit.
the show again. Like, no, I'm done. No Fredo sessions, nothing. I'm
shit.
done. This is my last show ever.
All right. Well, we'll see where it all comes out in the wash.
Well,
see what happens
I
here.
hope you enjoyed my voice, everyone, because this is the last time you'll hear it from the show.
Now, I will say this. That's an easy pass if there's room.
I understand that. I understand your point that this is not a good song to get into this band if you're not, I guess, a music fan? I don't know. You would not like Mr. Bungle if you don't like this song, period.
Well, and I think that's like the fairest of the points.
Yeah. Like all the money that Mike Patton made from Faith No More and some of their debut record, their self-titled record was their last demo, OU818. This was their first like we have millions of dollars. This is the record we want to make. It's a fucked up jazz record. And it's the greatest shit ever. But this is the one record, if you don't like Mr. Bungle, you probably don't like. I can understand people who don't like Mr. Bungle liking songs from their first record and California. But this is the record I'm like, this is for real fans right here. That's what I feel. I don't know.
All right. Well, the case has been made. So, and again, I'll say this: if
I've
there's
already
room,
lost face in this show, man.
If there's room, if we don't get 10 unanimous, I am way okay with that because it made an impression on me. All right, Peter, you're up.
Okay. As far as accessible stuff, I'm gonna start off with Carousel from the first album.
I got it.
Nope.
All right, so it moves over to the conversation.
And Carousel, and fun fact about me anyway. I went and saw Phantomas at the 930 Club.
Oh.
In, I don't know, it was like 10 years ago or something. But, no, actually, yeah, it was their suspended animation tour.
Huh.
And they have the pinball machine Funhouse, which is where a lot of the sound effects from the first record came from. So playing that in the venue that they were playing at was like that was like my Graceland moment for me.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, well, it moves to the conversation, so that's all right. So far, 0 misses. That's a... All right, I'm going to trot something out from Disco Volante here. I don't have a lot from it, but
You should.
I just want to see what we got here. And this was the first one that really got me like, okay, there's something here that I can point to and go, it's weird enough that it's representative of Mr. Bungle. It's accessible enough that I could tell somebody about it. Chemical Marriage.
I've got it.
That was one of the only songs
Really?
I regretted cutting.
Okay.
And I did it for a specific reason because I love Trevor Dunn. And we'll get to that later.
Okay.
But that should have been on my list, honestly. If we had a normal 20 list, that would absolutely be on there.
I think
It sounds like it's from like some demented circus from like another dimension or something.
And I've listened to a lot of bands in my life that are influenced by Mr. Bungle, like Dog Fashion Disco, for example, and that's the influence they took for them, like weird circus music. So
I feel like that's something that permeates throughout the records, at least the ones that I was presented with. There is like a weird circus feel that kind of comes in
and like
and out.
and like Tub Ring, who had a record produced by Trey Sprance, their guitar player. They're one of the third singer-songwriters. So yeah, I think a lot of weird circus is what people get from Mr. Bungle.
Mm-hmm.
And this song is very indicative of that. So,
alrighty, Bryan.
All right. I'm going to start a trilogy of songs right now because I'm a hardcore fan. I don't want to brag or anything. But this is part 1 of a 3-part song trilogy. And this is the only one on this record. It's the first record, Slowly Growing Deaf.
Oh.
Which is Sleep Part 1.
I don't have it.
No, me neither. No.
Man.
No.
All right.
Honestly, looking at it, I only don't have 2 songs from that record, apparently. And that's one of them.
It's cool. I mean, you guys don't like Trevor Dunn. It's fine.
Sorry.
Like, I know for a fact that this guy threw my demo out of his car one time. And I'm very flattered by that. I've actually had correspondence with every member of this band at one point in my life. I'm very proud of that.
Oh,
one of them told me I sucked, and I was like, great. It was Trevor Dunn, but it's great.
All right. Peter.
Here's one that I thought, like, okay, like if you're gonna get into Mr. Bungle, here would be a good entry point. Pink Cigarette,
Ooh.
California.
It was one of my only cuts from. I mean, it was. No, I don't have it, but great song.
Really?
Yeah.
There's literally no bad Mr. Bungle songs.
Wow. Okay. I did not expect this. Two misses here.
I hate us. So I should put it on record saying that.
Okay, where do I go here then? I don't feel as strong about any of these. How about I'll trot this one out here. Vanity Fair.
No.
No.
Okay.
I wanted to, but I chose another song from that record instead.
All right. Into the trash it goes.
I mean, Slowly Growing Deaf should be on that, but it's in the trash, so that's fine.
All right.
It's my turn, yeah?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to go part 2 of the trilogy that you guys hate apparently already, which is the other 2 are on Disco Valente. Carry Stress to the Jaw is part 2 of the Sleep trilogy.
I've got it.
I don't, but it was definitely one of my last cuts.
Trevor Dunn,
are we counting the secret song along with the Carry Stress in the Jaw?
There's a fun fact about that is that he didn't know that they recorded the song. So like the lyrics of like, I didn't get to sing on it at all was like legitimately like how it happened. Like he was not a part of that. They recorded that song without him and he got really pissed about it. So then they made vocals about it. It's great. Trevor Dunn is a great jazz bass player for a white man. But like I got to see his jazz trio one of the times I saw him, Phantomos, at the 930 Club in DC. I've seen Phantomos like 3 times. I'm proud of that. It's a great accomplishment of my life. The first time I saw them, they opened up for Tool at the amphitheater.
That's the show I was thinking about.
During their director's cut show, and everyone was so confused by that. Mike Patton is the greatest fucking frontman of all time. Respect to Freddie Mercury, but because he, like me, feeds off negative energy. If the audience is not with him, he plays so much better. He loves when people hate him, and they had no clue what they were watching when they opened for Tool, and he played the second best time I've ever seen him play. and the first was a fan of my show at 9:30 Club when they play with the Melvins, and everyone just kept yelling Faith and War songs, and he fucking hates that so much. He was just like, the whole time he just had his middle finger up to this front row. The people that were right in front of me, I was like, fuck these guys. And he plays so well off negative energy.
This guy sounds like my guy. Like,
dude, I fucking cannot state enough how important Mike Patton is in my life. I love him. I really do. I genuinely love him.
Just definitely sounds like my kind of guy.
And I've seen most of his projects live. I'm very proud of that.
All right, so Peter, it is your turn.
What song did we just say?
Carry stress in the jaw.
Oh, that was mine. All right.
Yeah. Moves over to the combo.
I'm gonna stick with Disco Volante, Desert Search for Techno Allah.
Damn, man. Cutting anything from that record is hard for me.
I don't have it either.
Like I picked 5 from every record.
Oh.
And that's why I don't have every song from Disco Volante in there. So
yeah, I almost actually put all of self-titled.
I can get that.
But mostly because of accessibility.
You like butt rock for a while, so it's fine.
Well, like I said, mostly due to its accessibility.
It is accessible.
So, all right. Well, where do I go? I'll stay on Disco Volante too. How about After School Special?
Damn it.
I have that.
All right. Into the combo.
I hate myself for cutting anything from that record, man. No, it's not on my list. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. It goes to the combo.
This is honestly top 10. If you get me like Desert Island Records, this is top 10 for me. It's top 5 for me.
Well, then that makes the cuts like.
And also, the last person that we did a show together, me and Peter, so is Fiona Apple.
Oh.
When the Pawn is in league with Disco Volante for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
High praise from Bryan.
Yeah.
Also, After School Special, that's a really fucked up song.
Yeah.
The lyrics.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was looking at is, again, with that record, like, how do I display, like, they can be fucked up and still be something that grabs you. You know what I mean? Like, so.
It's like me. Yeah.
All right, Bryan.
All right. Man. One of the greatest bass lines of all time.
Uh-oh. And
one that Trevor Dunn hates. He did not write this. The keyboardist wrote it on a keyboard, which is a lot easier to play on a keyboard than the bass. I follow him a lot. So on his personal website, he finally released the bass tabs for the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned it. Actually, I learned how to play bass because I locked myself in my bedroom and learned nothing but Mr. Bungle's first record and Primus's entire fucking songbook.
Wow.
So this is why I understand music today, in my understanding of music. But one of the greatest bass lines I've ever heard in my entire life is from Dead Goon.
I got it.
I don't. That was a late cut, though.
Great song. So great. I think my only issue with the first record of Mr. Bungle is all the post music cuts, because it takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even one of the songs on my list that we'll get into later, the opening song doesn't start till 30 seconds into it, because there's like just sound effect stuff. Silence in this case, but there's a lot of like interludes and shit like that in the first record that I think maybe might hurt the record. I made my own cut of the record, having my own studio equipment, but
understandable.
Anyway,
all
I'm
right.
really jerking off.
Well, we've got Dead Goon over to the conversation
All right,
though.
Cool.
And we got Retro Vertigo all the way through.
I'm so glad that one's all the way through.
All right, Peter.
I'm gonna say that about every song though.
How about Goodbye Sober Day?
Yes, absolutely. That's the song I chose over Vanity Fair.
I don't have it.
It's so diverse, man. There's like all the like Middle Eastern influences in that song. Like that record honestly is the most accomplished shit they've ever done as musicians. There's like mathcore on there. There's like Middle Eastern music, which if you follow Trey Spronce's career, he did a lot of that stuff with the Secret Chiefs 3, which sometimes Trevor Dunn played on as well. Like he does a lot of Middle Eastern music in his solo career, and a lot of that is very apparent on that record. So,
oh, and for the record, I may not have had it, but the listeners agreed with you, Peter.
It's weird because California is a mix of like California Beach Boys sounding stuff along with Middle Eastern music, which like it sounds like it shouldn't work on paper, but it does.
It works so well.
I loved California. Like I feel like out of the 3 records like that we listened to, that's the one I'll probably come back to the most.
Yeah, if you only like that record, I might hate you, but I'd hate you less. So you like their most diverse record they've ever made, but it's also their most polished, like from a production standpoint as well. And I don't know. I was just ranting about.
And they recorded that all on analog. They didn't do any digital with that.
Yeah,
so that must have been fucking insane to mix.
A lot of that was done in separate locations. Like they weren't all necessarily friends at that point.
Oh.
So there's a lot of tape trading going on with that record. Yeah. Like they did not get along towards the end there.
All right. Well, it moves into the conversation. I mean, all right, let's see. What 7 in the conversation. So if we get 2
Do we
more.
only have 1 all the way through?
Yeah.
At this point? Wow, man.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed by this show. And hate it at the same time.
All right. Where do I want to go here? You know what? I'm going to play along with the listeners here. Squeeze Me Macaroni.
I have it.
I don't. I like that song a lot. I find it to be very sophomoric and very indicative of their early days that like their demos and shit.
Oh, that's fair.
Great song. Great bass line. Learn that one too.
All right, Bryan?
I'll go with that record as well. The song that I chose over Carousel. Actually, no, I had Carousel. Wait, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. That should go all the way through. Did you have that too?
Did I?
I had Carousel.
I don't remember if I did. Hold on. On the fly here.
I thought I didn't have it, but I do. It's at the bottom of my list.
So I may have.
If it did, we should go all the way through.
Yes, I did.
All right. Well, that goes all the way through. I'm sorry that I fucked that up.
That's all right.
I don't make mistakes on the show, and that was my first one. But I mentioned this song earlier. It is the original title of this song is Travolta. The original pressing of this record had the original name on it, but Travolta sued them, and so they went with the name of his biography, his autobiography, which is quote unquote.
Yes, I got it. Yes,
which is the Trevor Dunn song. So, which is technically the only single like they made a video for it and everything that they ever had.
Oh,
yeah.
Also makes sense though.
I don't have it.
Yeah. Great song.
That moves over here. And make that copy. All right. Peter?
Okay, the last one I have from that record is My Ass Is on Fire.
Yep. Got it. Got it.
I got it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's juvenile, but it's still funny. Like,
there's a lot of that shit on the record that like I can't defend as an adult, but still love it though. Like, the Girls of Porn song. Like, it's not on my list, but like, that's where they were then as people.
Well, I mean, you can tell like they were all friends in high school, and like they were doing like stuff that like just to amuse themselves.
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah. Like the opening,
it's still a good song.
like the opening of OU 818 is them doing an impression of a Milli Vanilli thing. You're like, I sat around and thought about the things we used to do. It really meant a lot to me. You mean a lot to me. I really meant that much to you. Like that's the opening of their like they're very juvenile in their early days, and I still like it, but I can't defend it as an adult.
Also understandable.
Yeah. But he's like Mike Patton is one of the most petty motherfuckers. And from a petty motherfucker, I really appreciate that because it makes me feel like I'm not an asshole. Because like Mike Patton's like that too.
Sometimes you have to be that way though. Sometimes it be that way.
I mean, I almost brought your radio station to the ground over my pettiness, and it's you have Mike Patton to thank for that.
But
so
yeah, but we all know the other end of that. Like,
I know
with
that.
the real reason.
I know.
One of my favorite YouTube clips was like he was being interviewed at like some festival or something, and Wolf Mother was playing in the background.
You suck. I fucking love that video. I know what you're talking about.
And like he stops like in the middle of the interview. He's
What
like,
year is this?
Do you hear this shit? Like,
I love him so much, dude.
what fucking year is this?
Oh man, Wolf Mother, you suck. I mean, he's not wrong.
That makes me happy.
I fucking love Mike Patton so much, man. God damn it, he's so good. Everything he does is fucking gold for me.
I guess I'm gonna have to do a deep dive on some Mike Patton videos.
He's a living fucking god to me. Like I'm not even being like hyperbolic when I say that.
Well, we now have 3 through though, which is good. Retro Vertigo, Carousel, My Ass is on Fire all the way through.
Great.
And we officially have no need for NTP either. That being said,
there's literally no trash in their discography. I just want to go on record with saying that.
Let me throw out some possible misses here. None of them knew they were robots.
I have it.
Yes, absolutely, wholeheartedly.
Okay.
That's a great song. That was influenced by Dillinger Escape Plan.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Which
he sang on one of their
Mike
EPs.
Patton would go on to work with. Yes, yeah. But ironically, not a Mike Patton song. That's a Trace Bronze song. He was very much taken with the mathcore scene. So there's a lot of that on that record.
Strangely enough, like
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that one was an outlier. Okay.
Nah, man.
Got it.
That's an essential.
All right, Brian.
All right.
I think I have 6 left, which technically I only have 5 left.
I'm not gonna lie. I forget the songs that we already talked about. Oh, I'm gonna go a miss right now because I already missed with the first part of this. Part 2 of the Sleep trilogy is Phlegmatics on Disco Valentes.
Nope.
Yeah, I figured.
Nope.
Well, part 3 actually. I'm sorry. I already did Characters of the Jaw. That was number 2. This is part 3 of the Sleep trilogy.
Blam. And put that over there. All right, Peter.
This is probably gonna be a miss, but see if I'm pronouncing this right. Mamishka Mouse Squaws.
Ooh,
That was a tough cut.
that was the tough cut for me. It was just as tough as doing like Desert Search for Techno for me.
You know what it was like when this is one of those songs when I played it on its own, it didn't feel right. Maybe I'm wrong, but like
That's fair. I get that.
When I listened to it within the album, I was like, word. And then when I came back for my cuts, I was like, this one doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
And
that's I understand that.
again, maybe I'm wrong, but
Any song by Mr. Bungle that you don't like is wrong. Period. I genuinely mean this.
I honestly don't. I mean, of the 30 whatever it was, I don't think there was one I didn't like. I think there was ones I just wouldn't use for this show.
Right. Yeah.
All right, so my turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, how about this one? I'll go with the listeners again. Egg.
No.
Okay.
Great song. So is Stub a Dub. Also not on my list, but great record.
Into the trash it goes. Into the trash. All right, Bryan?
Okay. I think I've already closed out all of their self-titled record between us as guests on the show. I will go with... I know you're a track one guy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a late add to my list. Which, this is a very easy list, because I've been thinking about my favorite songs of theirs my whole life. But Everyone I Went to High School With Is Dead is a song that they wrote pretending that they didn't know how to play music, which is a hard thing to do if you're a musician, to pretend you don't know how to play your instrument. Great.
Oh, I don't have it, though.
I don't have it.
Wow.
No.
Well, I'm dead too, apparently, so it's fine.
Well, and I am a track one guy, and I got to be honest, I listened to that, and I was like...
It is not a good representation of where the record goes.
Which is exactly why I cut it.
I know that. But it is a group of well-accomplished musicians pretending that they don't know how to play their instruments.
I thought it was like a really fun introduction. And I was like, oh, is this what we're doing here? And then, no, it's not what we're doing.
No.
Which, again, I thought it was a fun way to open the record. But, and honestly, maybe if it would have made that next round, it would have been, something I would include in the conversation. But it was, God, man, like thinking of it that way, that mind fuck of, we're just pretending.
Yeah.
That, I don't know. Like I love a good mind fuck.
Yeah.
That's why I like the frog so much. All right. Peter.
Okay. For the last track one, Sweet Charity.
Yep. Absolutely.
Oh, no.
That is a Beach Boys song. I mean, that's a Trace Brown song as well. Like, he's very influenced by the Beach Boys. All the, like, Merry Go Bye Bye, all the, like, pop surf rock shit from Mr. Bungle comes from Trace Browns.
All right. So that puts 10 in the conversation. And we've got 4 through. So we are good to go. I'm down on my last 4. I'll trot my last one out from Disco Volante. Backstroking.
Nope.
No.
Trash. Into the trash. All right, Bryan.
I'll go with my. I guess this is my last one from that record as well. Platypus. The bass line, like midway through, is a banger and a half, man. Like, he's a great fucking jazz bass player. I can tell. I can tell by the silence that no one has it. But anyway, listen to Platypus, everyone who's listening to the show.
Well, again, like I think if you enjoy the list that we present you, listen to all 3 of these records.
I knew every song from that record was gonna miss with this. Like I knew that.
Well, and some people collect all the songs, so if you do that, then
we're only ever going to hit on their first and third record. Like, I knew Disco Volante was going to be a miss for me. Totally.
Well, it's just, it is what it is,
I honestly thought about texting you and going to a 10th song to make it even harder. I might have killed myself if I had to cut that many songs.
All right. So that brings us to Peter.
I only got one left.
Oh.
Air Conditioned Nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely,
yep,
man.
I got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And the listeners agree with you as well.
Great song.
Well, and, I hate to talk so much about accessibility, but, that's important when we're doing something like this. So, all right. So Peter is done. So it's...
You will hate life more than life hates you. Ugh. That's my life.
So I've got 2 left. I'm going to just bounce them off you, Bryan.
All right.
Love is Fist.
No.
All right. And Gollum 2, the Bionic Vapor Boy.
No.
I honestly couldn't tell you. At this point, I couldn't tell you what it was that grabbed me. If I had to guess...
Dude, there's no bad songs here, honestly.
If I had to guess, the default reason something would get through is it gave me the feeling of circus.
Okay.
So that was like default. If it made me feel like I was at a circus, then it got through. Although I don't think that was the case with
I don't think I
Gollum,
have
too.
any left. I think I'm done.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, let me move these over to the trash, and we'll go through what we got
I'm
left.
done, man. I'm not surprised that the only songs that went through are their first and third record. We definitely need to have that second record represented in our list.
So we got Retro Vertigo.
I'm going to go to the goddamn end of the earth for Merry Go Bye.
Well, I mean, that's an easy pass. Like
I think Disco Volante is their best record, but I think it's like an album where like it's harder to like take songs out of the context.
Totally, it's a non-concept record. Like you've taking songs out of context ruins it. But like it's like everyone I went to high school with is dead. Great fucking song, not representative of the fucking record, though.
Right?
But great song. It's a bunch of people pretending they don't know how to play their instruments,
which is just fun.
Awesome.
That is just fun.
Which I can't do. Like, credit to them as musicians. I can't pretend I don't know how to play. Like, great, love them.
Well, so I'm with it. I was the only one out on Merry Go Bye Bye, putting that one through.
Please put
that
it
gives
through.
us 6.
Please.
So we need 4 more from these: Chemical Marriage, Carry Stress in the Jaw, After School Special, Dead Goon, Goodbye Sober Day, Sweet Charity, Squeeze Me Macaroni, quote unquote.
Wait, who didn't have Sweet Charity?
I did.
You?
Yep.
Man, I hate you.
Although, again, that one was well on my radar. I feel like that one made my first cut.
Chemical Marriage should go through, even though it wasn't on my list. Sweet Charity should go through as well.
I'm also with that because it was on my radar.
How many is that if we put those two through?
I mean,
I don't want to come into the show. Peter, how do you feel about this?
I'm fine with both of those.
All right.
Like where are we at album wise as far as representation?
The only one that's not represented for the most part is Disco Volante,
yep.
Which is the record that everyone should listen to. So,
I think now we have 2 from Disco Volante though.
Yeah.
Merry Go Bye Bye and Chemical Marriage.
Okay.
So yep. So
what about Carry Stress in the Jaw?
That was my next one that I was going to go to bat for.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, that all of these songs were on my radar, so I'm with it. All right.
If those are the only representation from the record, I'm fine. We could move on. But
the only one that's left is After School Special anyway.
Okay.
So this is what's left. Hold on. What do we got? Is that 9 then? Yeah, 9. So we've only got one left to put through. Of these, After School Special, Dead Goon, Goodbye Sober Day, Squeeze Me Macaroni, quote unquote.
I feel like quote unquote has to be in this conversation.
Well, knowing the story now,
it has to be there. I mean, they had to change. They had to like recall the record over this song.
Yeah. And
it's their only. And you know I don't like singles, but it's their only like actual single they ever released.
Well, they tried to push Retro Vertigo when it came out.
Yeah.
But like the radio stations were like, no.
Yeah. So like when they first got signed, they only got signed because of Faith No More.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, but Mike Patton was a goddamn genius and joined a band he didn't really like that much, so he can get funding to do Mr. Bungle. They really went hard on this song. They were like, this is going to be their breakout fucking song. Like, we're going to make millions of dollars off this band. And they didn't at all their entire career. And I love the fact that it exists. So
it's also crazy that all 3 albums are on Warner Brothers Records. They're on a huge label.
Yeah. They're on the same label as their fucking arch nemesis, the goddamn Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I can't talk enough about how much I love Mr. Bungle.
So do you have one that you're leaning towards, Peter? Because knowing the story of quote unquote now, I feel like it's the only one that has that.
I could see that. For me, it's a toss up between that and Goodbye Sober Day.
Okay. So let's
man.
drop the other ones.
No, let's go with Goodbye Sober Day.
Okay.
That's a great song. It's very musically diverse. Quote unquote is very much a funk metal song.
All right.
But Goodbye Sober Day, I think, is the audience song too. Yeah.
Well, also,
Yes,
quote unquote,
yes,
also kind of has the circus feel, which I think we've already covered with a couple of the other songs.
That's
like Carousel and Chemical Marriage.
Especially Carousel. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
All right. So let's put a Goodbye Sober Day in. And like you said, that was one that the listener suggested.
Yeah.
So this is our 10 then. Retro Vertigo, Carousel, My Ass is on Fire. None of them knew they were robots. I can't believe that one got...
I'm so happy that went through.
The Air Conditioned Nightmare,
Ugh.
Merry Go Bye Bye,
God damn, I love this fucking show.
Chemical Marriage, Sweet Charity, Carry Stress in the Jaw, Goodbye Sober Day. That's our 10. So with that being said, Brian, let me...
Please don't ask me what my number one bullet is.
I have to.
I don't know, dude.
I don't know what to put at number one here.
my heart wants to go with like Retro Vertigo because I think that's the most accessible song on this list. It's very traditionally structured and a great ballad.
But are we doing the band a disservice if we do that?
I think so.
But you're going to be taking a hard left turn after that.
Totally.
Put that as number one.
I think probably.
How do we represent them?
It's gonna be something from California for me. Like
Okay.
I honestly think that's a great way to start. It's gonna be the Air Conditioned Nightmare or None of Them Knew They Were Robots.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
All right. So,
I mean, they're kind of up tempo, but they're also switching up the genres, but also at the same time like not too weird to throw people off that were like, okay, I don't want to listen to the rest of this.
I am well aware that Merry Go Bye Bye would turn most people off. So that's my favorite song of all time. But I know that it's not a banger for everyone.
Right.
It's just a banger for me.
Well, and the three of us.
Well, yeah, because we're fucking smart. Idiots.
I remember the first time I heard when I first listened to that album. When I got to that song, I was like, "Oh, so they're closing it out with like a normal song." But then, like halfway through, it's just like, blah, blah.
It fucking.
I was like, "Oh, of course, okay."
I cannot stress enough how fucking great that song is. That's on our list, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, but it has to be None of Them Knew that they were robots. I think.
Okay. I'm with it.
Yeah.
Because, again, it shocked me that it went in unanimously.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that is actually pretty indicative of the band.
I like the Air Conditioned Nightmare. I think that's a viable second choice, but I think it has to be None of Them Knew They Were Robots. Because they wrote weird songs about weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great
it's indicative
representation of that.
Yeah, it's indicative of them, but it's accessible enough to not turn somebody off to the band.
Yeah.
And, while you're there, just listen to all of California.
Listen to every fucking record they made. All three of the ones that you peons would know. But otherwise, it had to be Carousel for me, I think.
Okay. Interesting.
Only because quote unquote did not make it. So.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Peter?
I was just going to agree and say listen to all their albums because, like I mentioned at the beginning, like each album has its own sound.
Yeah.
And like the first record is like they got like more, horns and, I guess it's got more of the circus feel.
Yeah.
Disco Volante is like really avant-garde.
It's an avant-garde jazz record. Yeah.
Yeah. And then California is just kind of like smooth California pop mixed with their usual weird shit.
It really is a pop record. Like for them, that's their brand of pop music. It works.
It's as pop as they get, for sure.
It works, but it is a pop record for them.
Well, I got to tell you, like I didn't rack my mind on this, like choosing the songs and stuff, but I'm glad I'm finally at a point in my life where I can listen to Mr. Bungle and appreciate what it is. Like, I don't know what was wrong with Metal Justin.
I hate Metal Justin.
He was the worst.
Like, I love non-Metal Justin. Like, right now, like, you're one of my best friends in the entire world. And I drunkenly told you this the other night. But I hate Metal Justin.
He was the worst.
Nah, he's not cool. Like, he can't hang, man. He can't hang with me.
He was a real jerk.
He was a dick.
And
he didn't like Mr. Bungle. You can fuck off for all
he's dead and gone. He's dead and gone. All right, so let me run this down one last time here.
So what are we doing? Number one with the bullet is none of them new.
I think so.
Robots? Okay.
I think so. I think
Cool.
it's weird enough.
Peter, are you good with that, man?
Yeah.
Word.
I think it's weird enough that it shows what Mr. Bungle is, but accessible enough to not turn anybody off.
Yeah.
I think that's
all right.
I think that describes Mr. Bungle.
Totally.
Weird but accessible.
Totally.
None of them knew they were robots. Our number one with a bullet there. The Air-Conditioned Nightmare, Retro Vertigo, Carousel, My Ass is on Fire, Merry Go Bye Bye, Chemical Marriage, Sweet Charity, Carry Stress in the Jaw, and Goodbye Sober Day. That's our 10.
What a great fucking... God damn, I love this band.
And then listen to that. And again, you won't have to invest a ton of time listening to the 3 records that are available on Spotify. Do that, and you'll enjoy yourself. If you enjoy this 10, you will enjoy those records.
Yeah, so. And a lot of Mike Patton shit after that too. Actually, a lot of every member of that band's catalog of work. If you like Mr. Bungle.
I'm feeling it. Peter, this means officially we can now get you back into the rotation here.
Hell yeah.
Because for a good while there, like you were on, it felt like every other week, and then technical issues kind of put the squash to that.
Yeah, I prefer the word kibosh, but yeah.
Okay.
Kibosh. I would say kibosh.
But I think one of the next ones you'll be up for, which will probably at this point be early next year, is Sunny Day Real Estate.
Oh, yeah.
I think. I'll have to take a look at what else you're up for, but I know that one for sure. So
I love Sunny Day.
And then Bryan, you're going to be in for the Fredo sessions
for Sabbath, yeah,
and Taylor Swift,
yeah.
Which this will be the first time you've done a show with my wife too.
Oh, cool.
So
I might hate your wife now. Cool. Never had a reason to hate your wife, but now it's coming.
It's going to be
it's on the rise.
Taylor Swift's going to be because I haven't really. I've listened to 2 of the records, like the first 2, I think. So it's going to be an interesting list.
You never listened to Taylor Swift. That's what you said.
Well, no, I've heard.
You haven't heard 1989, man?
Of course I have.
Oh, come on, dude.
Half of it's on the radio anyway.
Dude, it's great.
Yes.
Record.
So, but, I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Just like with Mr. Bungle, like I didn't know where the list was going to go. I don't really care about the list with Taylor Swift. I care about the conversation that we're going to have about her. And another one. This is kind of aside from what we're talking about right now, but I'm doing Pink, doing research for Pink.
I really like Pink a lot. I really respect. I respect her a lot as a musician because her first record was like very forced on her to have that look and that sound, and she just did her own thing for the rest of her career. And I think she's incredibly talented.
Yeah,
like her whole circus thing that she did live, where she did like the
like up in the thingies.
Yeah. I don't know what that's called, like the aero aerobics or whatever that she was doing. To do that and be able to sing pitch perfectly, it takes an incredible amount.
In that song specifically?
Dude, but it takes an incredible amount of talent to do that and control. And she doesn't get the credit that she deserves as a fucking great vocalist.
So, I'm looking forward to that conversation too. I don't know what the list is. Sometimes, and this is why I bring it to that, sometimes the list is like the least important part of the episode.
She's amazing. Like, legit.
And so I feel that way about Pink. I feel that way about Taylor Swift. I feel that way about Mr. Bungle. You know what? You should feel this way about me. Patreon.com/ohijustin.
Yeah.
$1 a month.
I've given you more money than I've given Mr. Bungle in my life.
Wowzers McTavish. Look, here's what you get. You get deprogrammed before the rest of the world, and you get literally anything and everything else that I'm doing right now, which includes... at least 4 other podcasts, the These Ghouls demos when they come out. I know I haven't been doing them. I need to figure out how I'm going to record this record. The songs are there. I just need to record them.
You just hit play on that and you're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. just be in a room with a microphone and hit play.
I should figure out the drums, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I mean, drummers are terrible. Fuck the drums, man.
But so there's that, and then there's a big, I'll just say thumbs up. There's a big project coming up that we can't divulge info yet, but we're getting close to that point. I actually wrote the first TVs for it.
Are we talking about the thing we're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, word. I know what we're talking about.
I'll also say this. Me and Bryan are doing commentary on it, and you're going to want to see this because Bryan told me he's cutting off sleeves.
I'm cutting sleeves off my blazer for this. I'm doing a sleeveless blazer look for this. I'm so excited about it.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be
I've been watching
times.
nothing but like vintage footage of the thing the category of what we're doing. I'm really excited.
I can't wait. It's going to be a good time. So that's coming soon. Bell and Dub season 2. Jenny lives in Hampton now. So like
I know. Like I talked to her. She went to the Elvis Costello with me on Friday, and shout out because she appreciated that we talked her up last show we were on. So shout out to Jenny.
She's great.
But I told her that I wanted to do a lot more in the next season. Like I wanted to show off my vocal talents more so than
Word
just
up.
being a douchebag. Like I know I could do that. Let's move on.
Word up. But we're going to start writing season 2 now that she's in Hampton. She lives like less than 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
So like that's going to be coming up soon. And look, all that, $1 a month plus.
That's like the least you could do,
I know.
motherfuckers.
And it's just like whatever else I'm doing. Like it doesn't stop there. That's just the stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to be really creative. And if I get to $100 a month, Justin Fest it is. 24 hours of me. I mean,
okay, so I just officially upped my monthly membership to $100.
I'm serious though. Like, of course there'll be guests, and you know, I'll be.
You have to have me. It's like, I mean,
Clearly.
who cares? Honestly,
Everybody, everybody that it'll be a fun time. I missed the All Day You Drunks. Those were fun, and
I've done every one, so I'm a fan as well.
So like this is a fun way to bring it
It's
back.
got me on it, so I'm a fan.
But again, I'm so glad that you actually got to be here this week, Peter.
Yeah, this was fun.
Like I said, you were here for so many, and then all of a sudden everything crapped out. So I do apologize for that. So happy to have you back.
It's good to be back.
All right. Well, I guess at that point, maybe it's time to wrap it up, eh?
I like this show, man. Like this show, like I met Peter through the show, and I met Jody as well, and like I really like those people a lot. And I'm happy that your show has brought people to my attention that don't suck.
You're gonna meet a muscled up wrestleman on the Taylor Swift show.
I'm very happy about what you just described.
He works at a gym. Like
Oh
he
my
owns a
gosh.
gym.
Ooh.
So it's gonna be shameful good times.
Is he a cake made of beef? Would you say?
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
All right.
He's a handsome mountain of a man.
I can't have any competition, man. Come on. I don't want that shit in my life.
Well, things are happening downstairs. So with that,
Yeah.
I will say this. Mr. Bungle, learn them and love them, people. We'll
Better.
see you next week.
Yeah.
Goodbye.